we?
And
Miranda.
She's new. We managed to make her come. And today we are doing fictional couples, our favorite fictional couples in books. So the City of Bones, the entire Mortal Instruments series by Cassandra Clare. I've got 2 ships in this, but I don't want to save a second one if you haven't read this series because I don't want to spoil it for you. So I'll just go with Clary and Jace. Yes, named Clary and Jace. And they're just a really cute couple because this book is just like Sass Master 5000 and it is just really, really good. So basically she goes to like a club and she sees like all this like group of people like all in black where he's gonna kill someone and she's like, oh my god, what? But nobody else saw it and she finds out that they're shadow hunters and they kill demons and like other nighttime thingamabobbers and that she's actually one of them because her mom was. And so she gets like brought into their world and Jace is like one of the guys she saw at the club and they just kind of hit it off right from the start and it was really, really cute. It was like one scene like in a garden, you know, it's like it is just like the most beautiful scene ever, like and then I won't say it, but something happens at the end of the first book that just destroys your hopes and dreams, but it gets better. It gets better, and I think there's maybe 4 or 5 books right now, and yeah, they're really good, so I would recommend reading them for the plot and the characters and the other ship, which I didn't mention, but they're a good ship. Yeah.
The next one is a series, and these are the first 2 books, Shatter Me and Unravel Me, but I picked the first 2 because they have very different like relationships in each of them. So in the first one, the main character Juliet, she basically, the thing is like anyone she touches dies, so she lives in isolation. And in the first one, she's with this guy who's like, he's really sweet, or he's nice, you know, he's like a cute love interest, but like the second one, she ends up with someone very unexpected, and I don't know.
She doesn't end up with him.
Well, no, but
like,
she like something happens. Yeah, like you don't know who she's gonna end up with, but it's
risque.
Yes,
it gets heated.
No, it's just like, I don't know, like compared to like the love story in the first one, it's like, why were you holding off on this? Like when you like, what was that? Yeah. And then there's a 3rd book, which tells you who she ends up with, and did you guys know you didn't read them?
No, well, I've met the author, and she's really nice.
When did you read her?
She came out like last year, 2 years ago, and she is tiny, and she's
really nice.
But she's really funny, and she got married to Ransom Riggs, who's another author.
Yeah.
He read a good series.
And they had like a book-themed wedding.
Did they?
Yeah, it's really cute.
So cute.
The next book we have is The Knife of Never Letting Go.
Great trilogy.
Yes, it's actually one of my favorites. It's by Patrick Ness, which was in one of your book bans.
One of my favorite authors. He's a really nice guy. If you tweet him, he will reply to your tweet, and you're like, yes.
So decent. That's a great author.
Great author.
Good guy. Okay, so this book, it takes place on another planet, so it's sci-fi. So if you like that, you should definitely check it out. If you don't, and you like people, then you should also read it. So on this other planet, it's a very complex plot, and I don't really want to give too much away. It's the spoilers, but a lot of this is the kind of book where at the end of it, you just want to like lie on the ground and sob because just so much happens, and you get so invested into these characters. But they form this kind of bond that's unbroken throughout all of the books, and it's just they always make it back to each other, and they're like best friends, and that's the best kind of characters that you can have when they're together, is that they're the best friends and they go through everything together. So this book is definitely, you should read it if you love beautiful things. So.
Okay, so next book that I chose is Anna and the French Kiss by Stephanie Perkins, which has like the worst cover ever. It's so embarrassing. Like, I can't read this in public. I have to always take the dust jacket off. But it's a really, really good story. It's like I just reread it like over and over again. But it's just about this girl, and she goes for her senior year, she goes to a boarding school in Paris, and it sounds like the cheesiest plot ever, but it's written so well. And she meets like this group of friends there, and one of them becomes her like love interest kind of, but it's like really rocky road to get there and not always like very pleasant. But it really like surprised me because it seems like such like a fluffy like light read, but it's actually really like there's a lot of like heavy topics and stuff, and the love story is just like my favorite of pretty much any book I've ever read. I think like I could just read this book over and over. It never gets old. It's so good.
Okay, so my next book is The Reckoning by Kelly Armstrong. I think this is the first one.
It's the third one.
Okay, what's the third one? I'm sorry. The first, you know what the first one is called?
The Summoning.
The Summonings trilogy by Kelly Armstrong. It's really good.
And her name's Chloe.
Her name is
Right.
Chloe, main character right here, and it's like it's kind of like a love triangle, but not really because there's Simon and there's Derek, and you root for Derek from the start because so basically, they're all like different magical teenagers kind of thing. They get recruited to stay in this like one place together, and she's a necromancer, and then Simon is a magician, I think. He does magic, and then Derek is a werewolf, and it's awesome. And there's like one scene that happens, you're just like, yes, Derek, you're it, because like she goes with Simon at first, and you're kind of like, Simon.
Simon's the way to go.
No, he's not. I like Derek. And then like in the third book, he just gets really hot, like puberty and stuff, and you're like, yes! And it's just straight on from there. So this is a good trilogy. It's fun. It's still kind of heavy, but still lighthearted, and just like a really good, like supernatural kind of series. Yeah, Kelly Armstrong. Woo.
You've probably seen this book. It's The Hunger Games by Suzanne Collins. And this one, I feel like there's the two teen ships that we have going on.
Which are both awful.
Yeah, none of us really.
Yeah, so we are actually non-conforming, and we are going towards the one ship, which is Finnick and Annie.
Yeah.
Because they are the ideal couple that you will ever meet in any, not
Yeah.
meet, but like, but just like,
any book.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just
Like,
when
when
were
were
they
introduced? They were introduced in the
Catching
second
Fire, yeah.
Yeah, the second book, which is Catching
And
Fire.
they're just so sweet and so just like perfect for each other, and it's just
They're not typical though.
Yeah,
because
but-
they didn't even like feel it. They didn't feel the love until
Yeah.
um,
Well, and also
they
it's
developed
not what you'd
as
expect from Finnick as a character. Like he's super like, I don't know, he's such a
Nice.
player.
yeah,
Like,
he's so like
he's
narcissistic, and like I'm the
Yeah.
best. And then you just see him be so sweet and just like nice, and Annie just like
I know.
yeah.
Hunger Games.
Oh dear. Okay.
So my book is The Demon King by Cinda Chapman Williams. I think I said it before for books that make a good movie or TV show, but it's a great couple too. There's 4 books in the series, and they don't actually like meet until either the end of the first book or the second book, which I really like because it allows them to really grow dynamically as characters, but like be their own person before they meet. And when they part ways a lot, they just kind of interchange and interweave their stories, because like one's a princess and one's like a street rat who's also a wizard. It's really, really good. That probably sounded awful, but it's actually really good. It takes place in this really great other fantasy world. It's really well built, and there's just like a lot going on, and they just ship them so hot. It's Hans and Reza, and it's great. And they're just really good, strong characters, and they're 17, but they're really like mature, and they have a lot to do, and it's really good characters and good plot, and just great book, and I ship them really hard. So